Tokyo's neon veins pulsed in the rain-soaked night, a labyrinth of electric blues and pinks reflecting off slick asphalt. Zara Khan crouched in an alley behind a ramen shop, her breath fogging in the chill. Her black hoodie clung to her skin, soaked from the downpour, as she checked her encrypted laptop. The screen glowed faintly, displaying lines of code that had just toppled an empire, or so she hoped. She leaked evidence of RydeCorp's illegal AI experiments to the dark web, exposing CEO Marcus Ryde's plan to control Tokyo's tech grid. Now she was a ghost, hunted by assassins in a city that never slept. Her fingers trembled as she typed, rerouting her VPN to mask her location. The leak had gone viral on X, with posts exploding about Ryde's corruption. But the cost was immediate. A black SUV had tailed her from Shibuya, its headlights slicing through the rain. She ditched them in a crowd, but her pulse still hammered. Zara, 28, was no stranger to danger. Her hacking career had pissed off cartels and corporations alike, but this felt different. Ryde wasn't just a CEO, he was a predator with Yakuza ties, and she just painted a target on her back. A screech of tires snapped her head up. Headlights flooded the alley, pinning her like a moth. She slammed her laptop shut and bolted, her boots splashing through puddles. The SUV roared closer, and a man's voice barked in Japanese, "She's there!" Zara ducked into a narrower alley, her heart pounding like a war drum. Neon signs flickered above, karaoke, sake, love hotel, mocking her desperation. She needed a way out, now. That's when she saw him, a lean figure leaning against a modified Nissan Skyline, its underglow casting a crimson halo. Kaito Tanaka, 30, looked like trouble personified. Black leather jacket, sharp jawline, and eyes that gleamed with reckless confidence. He was smoking, the ember flaring as he watched the SUV barrel toward her. Zara didn't trust strangers, but she was out of options. "Need a ride?" Kaito's voice was low, teasing, as he flicked his cigarette into the rain. Zara hesitated, her instincts screaming, "Trap!" But the SUV's engine growled closer, and she sprinted toward him. "Move!" she snapped, diving into the passenger seat. Kaito grinned, sliding behind the wheel with the ease of a predator. The Skyline roared to life, tires screeching as he floored it, weaving through Tokyo's maze of streets. The SUV gave chase, its headlights a relentless glare in the rearview mirror. "Who the hell are you?" Zara demanded, gripping the door as Kaito took a sharp turn, nearly clipping a noodle cart. "Kaito, street racer. You?" He glanced at her, his smirk infuriatingly calm. Zara, in deep shit. She checked her laptop bag, ensuring it was secure. "Lose them." "Working on it." Kaito downshifted, the car's engine screaming as he swerved into a tunnel. The SUV followed, but Kaito was a ghost in the machine, drifting through traffic with surgical precision. Zara's stomach lurched as he cut across lanes, neon lights blurring into streaks. Gunshots cracked behind them, pinging off the car's rear bumper. "Friends of yours?" Kaito asked, unfazed, as he yanked the wheel, sending them into a side street. "RydeCorp's goons," Zara muttered, hacking into her phone to scramble their GPS. "They don't like my work." Kaito laughed, a sound that sent a shiver down her spine, not entirely from fear. "You're fine," he said, flooring the gas. The SUV missed a turn, crashing into a stack of crates, and Kaito whooped, pulling into a hidden garage beneath a pachinko parlor. The metal door slammed shut, cloaking them in darkness. Zara's chest heaved as she caught her breath. Kaito leaned back, lighting another cigarette, the flame illuminating his sharp features. "You're safe, for now." "Why help me?" she asked, suspicion lacing her voice. "Nobody in Tokyo does favors without a price." Kaito exhaled smoke, his eyes locking onto hers. "Let's just say, I hate Ryde as much as you do." Zara didn't buy it. His Yakuza tattoo, a dragon coiling up his forearm, peeked from his sleeve, a warning she couldn't ignore. But his gaze held something else, a flicker of defiance, maybe even desire. She shoved the thought aside. Trust was a luxury she couldn't afford. He offered her a burner phone. "Call whoever you need, then we talk." She took it, her fingers brushing his, sparking an unwanted jolt. She dialed a dark web contact, arranging a safe house. As she hung up, Kaito leaned closer, his voice a low rumble. "You're not just a hacker, are you? What did you do to piss off Ryde?" She smirked, matching his intensity. "I exposed his AI. It's designed to hijack Tokyo's grid, traffic, banks, everything. He's building a digital cage." Kaito's eyes darkened. "Bold move. Stupid, but bold." "Says the guy racing through gunfire," she shot back. He chuckled, and the air between them crackled. Zara's safe house was across town, but Kaito insisted on driving her. As they sped through the neon jungle, Zara hacked into RydeCorp's servers from her laptop, finding schematics for the AI, codenamed Neon Veil. It was worse than she thought, a system to monitor and control every citizen's digital footprint. Her leak had only scratched the surface. At the safe house, a dingy apartment above a hostess bar, Kaito lingered. "You're not safe here long," he warned. "Ryde's got eyes everywhere." "Then why stick around?" she challenged, her pulse quickening as he stepped closer. "Maybe I like the view," he said, his voice a velvet blade. Their eyes locked, and for a moment the danger faded. Then a shadow moved outside the window, and Zara's hand flew to her knife. A glint of steel flashed in the alley below, a Yakuza enforcer, watching, with Kaito's name carved in a bullet. The safe house smelled of stale beer and desperation, but Zara's focus was razor-sharp. She sat cross-legged on the floor, her laptop casting a ghostly glow as she dug deeper into Neon Veil. Kaito sprawled on a tattered couch, cleaning a pistol with unsettling ease. The Yakuza enforcer had vanished, but the threat lingered like smoke. Zara's instincts screamed to ditch Kaito. His Yakuza ties were a red flag, but she needed his street smarts. And damn it, his presence was electric, like a live wire she couldn't stop touching. "We need to hit Ryde where it hurts," Zara said, her fingers flying over the keyboard. "His AI's core is in a server farm in Shinjuku. If we destroy it, Neon Veil collapses." Kaito raised an eyebrow, holstering his gun. "You're talking about breaking into a fortress. Ryde's got mercenaries, cameras, and worse. You sure you're ready for that?" "Are you?" she countered, meeting his gaze. His smirk sent a thrill through her, but she buried it. This wasn't a game. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "I know a guy. Yakuza, but he owes me. He can get us into a club where Ryde's lieutenants meet. We steal their access codes, we're one step closer." Zara hesitated. "And why should I trust a Yakuza errand boy?" Kaito's smile faded. His eyes hardened. "Because I'm not their dog. Not anymore." He rolled up his sleeve, revealing the dragon tattoo in full, a mark of loyalty he'd burned at the edges, defacing it. He left. They don't forgive that. The vulnerability in his voice caught her off guard. She wanted to push, to unravel his secrets, but the clock was ticking. "Fine," she said. "We hit the club tonight." The Yakuza club Crimson Lotus was a fortress of glass and steel, pulsing with bass and bathed in red neon. Zara wore a sleek black dress Kaito had scrounged, her laptop hidden in a clutch. Kaito, in a tailored suit, looked like he belonged, dangerously so. As they slipped inside, his hand grazed her lower back, sending a jolt through her. "Stay close," he murmured, his breath warm against her ear. The club was a sensory assault, strobing lights, writhing bodies, and the sharp tang of sake. Zara spotted their target, a Yakuza lieutenant named Hiroshi, nursing a whiskey at a VIP booth. Kaito led her to the dance floor, pulling her close to blend in. Their bodies moved in sync, her pulse racing not just from the mission. His hands on her hips felt too right, too dangerous. "Focus," she whispered,
more to herself than him. Hard to, with you looking like that, he keezed, his lips brushing her ear. She shoved down the heat rising in her chest and slipped a microchip into Hiroshi's phone while Kaito distracted him with a fake argument. Back at the safe house, Zara cracked the chip's data, revealing access codes to Ryde's server farm. But something else caught her eye. A file mentioning Kaito, marked as a liability. Her stomach twisted. "Care to explain this?" she asked, shoving the laptop at him. Kaito's jaw tightened. "They want me dead because I walked away. That's all." "That's not all," she snapped. "You're hiding something. Spill it, or I'm gone." He hesitated, then sighed. "Ryde funded my last job, a heist. I didn't know it was tied to Neon Veil until it was too late. I bailed, and they branded me a traitor." Zara's instincts screamed to run, but his eyes held her, raw, unguarded. Against her better judgment, she nodded. "One chance, Kaito. Don't screw me over." Their plan took shape. Infiltrate the server farm, plant a virus to disable Neon Veil, and expose Ryde's crimes to the world. But as they prepared, the safe house door exploded inward. Yakuza enforcers stormed in, led by a scarred man named Taro, Kaito's former friend. "You should have stayed loyal, Taro," he sneered, aiming a gun at Kaito. Zara dove behind the couch, uploading her virus to a cloud server as a backup. Kaito fought like a demon, disarming Taro with a brutal efficiency that chilled her. They escaped through a fire escape, but Taro's parting words echoed. "Ryde knows you're coming, Tanaka. You and your hacker bitch are dead." On a rooftop overlooking Tokyo's skyline, Zara and Kaito caught their breath. The city glittered below, a false promise of safety. Kaito pulled her close, his hands framing her face. "I'm with you, Zara. No matter what." She wanted to believe him. Their kiss was desperate, hungry, a collision of fear and desire. But as they parted, her laptop pinged, a new file, hacked from Ryde's servers. It was a hit list, and Kaito's name was at the top, tied to her leak. The file also contained a photo of Zara, taken inside the safe house, an hour ago.
Zara's blood ran cold. The photo meant someone had been watching her, closer than she'd realized. She spun on Kaito, her knife at his throat before he could blink. "Who's feeding Ryde intel?" she demanded, her voice shaking with rage. Kaito didn't flinch, his eyes steady. "Not me, I swear it, Zara." "Then explain this." She shoved the laptop at him, the photo glaring back. Her, hunched over her keyboard, unaware of the lens. Kaito's face darkened. "Taro. He's been tailing me since I left the Yakuza. He must have planted a camera." Zara lowered the knife, but her trust was fraying. "You've got too many secrets, Kaito. If you're playing me, I'll gut you myself." He grabbed her wrist, not hard, but firm. "I'm not. I love you, Zara. That's the only truth that matters." The words hit like a shockwave. Love? In this chaos? Yet her heart betrayed her, racing at his touch. She pulled away, focusing on the mission. "We hit the server farm tonight. No more surprises." The Shinjuku server farm was a fortress of concrete and steel, guarded by drones and mercenaries. Zara and Kaito infiltrated through a maintenance tunnel, her hacking skills disabling the outer alarms. Inside, the air hummed with the heat of servers, their lights casting an eerie glow. Zara plugged her laptop into the mainframe, uploading the virus to dismantle Neon Veil. Kaito stood guard, his gun drawn, every muscle tense. As the upload ticked to 80%, alarms blared. Mercenaries flooded the room, led by Marcus Ryde himself, a cold, wiry man with eyes like a snake. "You're persistent, Miss Khan," he said, his voice smooth as poison. "But Tanaka's been mine all along." Zara's heart stopped. She turned to Kaito, who shook his head, his gun still aimed at Ryde. "He's lying," Kaito growled. Ryde laughed, tossing a tablet at Zara's feet. It displayed a contract. Kaito's signature,
binding him to deliver Zara to Ryde. His family owed me a debt, he said. He sold you out to save them. Zara's world tilted. The upload hit 100%, but she barely noticed. Kaito, her voice cracked, pleading for a denial. I didn't sign that, Kaito said, his voice raw. He forged it, Zara. Look at me. But Ryde's mercenaries closed in, and Zara's doubt became a chasm. She grabbed her laptop and ran, leaving Kaito to face the gunfire. His shout echoed behind her. Zara, wait! But she didn't stop, her heart shattering as she fled into the night. She holed up in a seedy motel, her mind reeling. The virus was active, crippling Neon Vale, but Ryde's words gnawed at her. Had Kaito played her? The photo, the contract, it was too much. Yet her touch, his confession of love, felt real. She hacked into his burner phone's logs, finding messages to Taro. Protect her. She's everything. Her throat tightened. Maybe he was telling the truth. Then her phone buzzed. A live feed from Ryde. Kaito, bound and bloodied, in a warehouse. Come alone, Miss Khan, or he dies. The feed cut to a timer, 30 minutes, and a single frame showed Taro, grinning, holding a knife to Kaito's throat. Zara's motorcycle screamed through Tokyo's streets, the neon lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of rage and fear. She'd armed herself with a stolen pistol and a USB drive loaded with her final weapon, a data bomb to expose Ryde's crimes to every news outlet on X. But saving Kaito was her priority, even if he'd betrayed her. She couldn't let him die. The warehouse loomed in Odaiba, a rusted relic by the bay. Zara slipped inside, her footsteps silent on the concrete. The air stank of oil and blood. Kaito was tied to a chair, his face bruised, but his eyes lit up when he saw her. You came, he rasped. Shut up, she hissed, scanning for traps. Taro stepped from the shadows, his knife glinting. Ryde followed, flanked by 2 mercenaries. You're predictable, Ryde said, smirking. Tanaka was bait, and you bit. Zara's grip tightened on her gun. Let him go or I detonate the data bomb. Your empire's finished. Ryde's smile faltered. You're bluffing. She held up the USB, her thumb on a remote trigger. Try me. Taro lunged, but Kaito broke free, tackling him. Chaos erupted, gunfire, shouts, the clang of metal. Zara ducked behind crates, firing at the mercenaries. Kaito fought Taro with brutal precision, but a bullet grazed his shoulder, blood soaking his jacket. Zara screamed his name, her focus splitting. Ryde grabbed her, his arm around her throat. Drop the USB or I snap your neck. Zara's vision darkened, but she activated the data bomb, uploading Ryde's crimes to X. Posts flooded the platform, exposing Neon Vale to millions. Ryde roared, tightening his grip, but Kaito drove a knife into Taro's leg and charged, slamming Ryde to the ground. Zara gasped for air, her hand finding Kaito's. They fought back to back, a synchronized dance of survival. Zara shot a mercenary while Kaito disarmed Ryde, knocking him out. Sirens wailed outside, the police, alerted by the data bomb. The Yakuza turned on Ryde, their loyalty crumbling as his crimes went viral. Zara and Kaito stumbled into the dawn, bloodied but alive. He pulled her close, his lips crashing into hers, a kiss that tasted of salt and redemption. I didn't betray you. I never would. She searched his eyes, finding truth. I know, she said, her voice soft but sure. They fled Tokyo, holing up in a coastal village. Zara kept her hacking tools, ready for the next fight. Kaito vowed to protect her, his Yakuza ties severed for good. But as they watched the sunrise, her laptop pinged, a new leak addressed to them both, hinting at a larger conspiracy. The message read, Neon Vale was just the beginning. Find me in Seoul. Signed, Ghost.